Good day, Mr. Chinedu Michael.
Good morning, good day.
This is Nigeria News Center. We look at happenings in Nigeria and globally. Let us look at what is coming from Simon Ekpa by saying December 22nd, 2024 is sacrosanct. What is he trying to say? He said that is the D-Day where Biafra, sovereign state of Biafra, shall be declared.
By who?
By himself.
That's of course by himself, not by Biafras, not by the international community, not by the United Nations, not by the AU, not by the people the world will recognize, or not by the people who will actually recognize his declaration at the end of the day. So there's still a lot of question mark in trying to say that by December this year, he is going to declare sovereign state of Biafra. I have my reservations over that, and I will continue to have my reservation over that.
If I may ask, if Simon Ekpa eventually achieve Biafra, will you like to be in that country?
Well, of course, I'm a Biafran, not Simon Ekpa. I'm still a Biafran till today. I'm not. What I'm asking for is not declaring. What I'm asking for is restoration, not declaring. That is, I don't know how he tells you.
If the declaring will lead to the restoration, will you appreciate it?
No, it's the restoration, recognition. That's what we are asking for, not declaring. What are you declaring? How many times have they declared Biafra? Biafra was only declared once, okay, by the then Odumegwu Ojukwu, right? Then we remember some time ago, that when the issue of Masom came up, we know what how Ralph was Rike. I was in Abad then, when all the whole thing happened. How many times? I think we should get to understand the need for us to do the right thing at the right time and say the right thing at the right time.
Mr. Chinedu Michael, I understand you are from Afaruku, the same community with Nnamdi. We understand that Simon Ekpa is from Ebonyi State. Could that be perhaps the reason you go sentimental about this?
No, Simon Ekpa, listen, Simon Ekpa is a Biafran, not from Ebonyi State. That is what you have to understand. Simon Ekpa is a Biafran and not from Ebonyi State. He's not the only Biafran. There are other Biafrans everywhere.
But seeing that you throw away behind Nnamdi, I'm not saying anything wrong with that.
No, you see, it's not about Nnamdi Kanu. It's about the structure, that is driving the Biafran restoration, which is the IPob, which is being recognized all over the world. Nobody knows. Are you going to tell somebody about it? Is this an individual thing?
No, if I ask
platform. Excuse me. Of what platform is it talking about? Of what platform is it trying to, drive this thing? This is just a.
He says he's the Prime Minister of Biafra in exile.
Who gave him Prime Minister? He gave himself. He's self-acclaimed. I don't know how you people. When you people are putting these things before the public, you should also understand what people are trying to say. Who gave him? Was there any consensus to that? Who named him?
Some people are asking online.
Yes, let them ask.
That who gave Nigeria the name of Nigeria, seeing that you are asking who gave him the Prime Minister.
Okay, let me tell you. If you look at, let me tell you, the name Nigeria was coined in the 18th century by a woman who is a journalist with Times Magazine. That her name is Flora. And it was being suggested, he suggested that a particular geographical location in West Africa should be named so and so. It was not Simon Ekpa that named Biafra. So when the powers that be, the colonial heads now look at it from that angle, and that was how there was they agreed, that since this name was suggested in this to be given this location, geographical location, that was how the whole thing came up. It was not Simon Ekpa that gave, nor the guy from Bayelsa that gave Biafra. The people that Biafra, the name Biafra, it's just that people misunderstand it to be, a Portuguese name.
Now, let me ask a question. If you were in a ship and Nnamdi is a captain, and suddenly Simon Ekpa become the captain, would you come down from the ship?
How would you? Why would you say suddenly become? See, my brother, we are Igbos. Our culture is democracy. You know, we don't do things by fiat. We don't do things by order. You know, if you look at what Chinedu wrote on Things Fall Apart, you understand the culture, you know, that bred the then Okonkwo, you know, the character of the Things Fall Apart. You understand very well that there are a way Igbos, you know, control and take care of their needs in terms of administration. Igbos consult, you know, even if you go to our town meeting, nobody can come out and say this is this, and people will subject themselves to that order. No, there has to be a consensus. How many people has agreed to that concept of what he's talking about? You remember recently too that he said there was a referendum. What is the result of the referendum? I'm asking you.
No,
What is the result?
I'm not permitted to answer questions on this
No, that's
platform.
what I'm asking those who are telling me that I don't know what the response you are getting, which you reported this morning. Not that I don't know the response. I want a clearer picture of the direction of where we are going. The fact remains is this. I will continue to say it the way I understand. It's not a matter of whether I'm an Afaruku man or this other guy, Simon Ekpa, is from Ebonyi State. That is not the issue. The fact is that he is a Biafran like I am.
Okay, if I may ask, if Simon Ekpa were to be from Afaruku, will he still maintain this opposition?
200%. And that has been, I don't believe, I believe that things should be done orderly. You know, Biafra is not going to be a banana island like banana republic like Nigeria. We are not expecting that to happen. You know, even before he started claiming, if you look at my past discussions before now, you know, I've always modeled our type of political structure and hierarchy, you know, after the Israeli type of government, you know, where I also mentioned things like that. Of course, Nnamdi Kanu has come out to say that he's not even interested in becoming the prime minister of Biafra. But if, at that point, you know, we expect that people should sit down and consultation should be spread and consensus, you know, understood before we can say, okay, this one is going to spearhead the government in exile, and nobody was consulted. I was not consulted. I did not get any information in regards to that. Likewise,
If I may ask you, Mr. Chinedu Michael, did Nnamdi Kanu consult you before he started his agitation?
Yeah, let me tell you, it's not.
No, let me ask you personally, Mr. Chinedu Michael.
Yes.
Did Nnamdi Kanu consult you personally before he started his agitation?
Okay, let me tell you. If you don't know the story of how IPob came about, then I will tell you. You know, when Uwazirike started was Masob, you know, it was not in line with United Nations quest for self-determination. And people had to dive into research until the billion human rights spearheaded by one Reverend Father from America, you know, took the process and they underwent a United Nations process. And at the end of the day, because of Nnamdi Kanu did not start with Masob and IPob. Nnamdi Kanu has been on the agitation for against Igbo marginalization. Even when Tinubu was governor of Lagos State.
For purpose of our emphasis, I ask again, did Nnamdi Kanu consult you personally?
No, Nnamdi Kanu, you don't need to ask me such question whether Nnamdi Kanu consult me personally.
No, seeing that you are accusing,
because you don't know, you just came in between and started following the process that has to do with Biafra. Me, I have started following the process of Biafra right from the time the Igbos were organizing World Igbo Congress in America.
That is why it's
let me tell you, even that time there was nothing like phone, there was nothing like internet, there was nothing like that. But I have been following the process. That was why I mentioned during the days of Ralph Muche, the then on Wednesday, chieftain, late, which I also participated in the burial. So I am close to the process as at that time, and I know what happened to Uwazirike. You know, I know what happened to Masob. Masob is still there. You know, so
I ask again for the last time. Did Nnamdi Kanu consult you personally before he started his agitation?
Did Nnamdi Kanu, let me tell you, you don't understand what you're saying. Nnamdi Kanu is an offshoot of the marginalization of the Igbos and the quest. Listen, it's not you can't put that kind of question to me. You know,
I wanted to let you know why I asked the question.
Nnamdi Kanu, see, it's left for me to decide. It's left for me to decide. And if I see anything that I'm not comfortable with, on the process that's going to lead, it's because I understand that Nnamdi Kanu sat down and look at the what Masop did at that time is not in line with United Nations rules and regulation on self-determination. And he went and said, okay, you go and read the charter, the act. You see where they mention self-determination, and you look at the act of that self-determination, you will see where they put they talk about indigenous people. So he came up with that concept, you know, and when I saw it, I don't need anybody to consult me or to tell me that this and that. I cue in because I felt that he is in the right channel, and that was how I came in. I came in because, one, I'm an Igbo. Two, what is trying to is trying to get at as at that time is in line with United Nations requirement for self-determination.
No, you have partially answered the question.
It's not a matter of that I have partially answered the question. I'm telling you that I saw that this thing were taking place, and the process that followed that IPob came about was in line with the rights, you know, not even under United Nations. There's other bodies under United Nations which you can do that registration, which you can undergo that process, you know, and you get it very well. And that is what he did, and it was approved. The United Nations approved it. You know, it's not like Masop. So Masop is a different thing. So that's why the United Nations recognized IPob. You understand? So when I saw it, I don't need anybody to tell me that yes, he is in the right channel, and I queue up immediately. How did I queue up? Let me tell you, what detests me, and I keep on saying it because I do not understand what Simon Ekpa means by autopilot. Me, I'm not an autopilot person. I have brain, I can think, I can reason for myself. So if you are telling me to be an autopilot, I don't know how that's going to work. I'm not being controlled by any device. I'm not being controlled by any mechanism. Now, God and man has a relationship in terms of how man works, and the rules are already been there. You understand? So, and I can't cue into that kind of idea of autopilot. And who is supporting him even, apart from the people he feel that, okay, based on Nnamdi Kanu's ordeal, you understand, people are just looking for a way, you know, to give Nnamdi Kanu support and solidarity. And that was how people started talking about Simon Ekpa. Me, I'm not going to beat that. Anything outside IPob, you know, what IPob says, anytime, any day, unless otherwise. That is my stand, and that has always been my stand, not even now, even till tomorrow. You can remember when I was saying it here on different platforms, you know, on the issue of sit at home. What happened now? As in now, let him give order. Let Simon Ekpa stay in Finland and give order that Igbo should sit at home, whether anybody will listen to him. I'm asking you now.
Okay, are you saying?
No, I'm asking you.
Are you saying
when I was saying it here, then at this point in time, we have shown enough solidarity for Nnamdi Kanu.
Are you saying his orders will not be complied to?
Let him order for sit at home.
Well, your opinion is
ordered. How far has it gone?
No, I didn't do it.
Bros, you cannot see. Bros, let me tell you, don't make Igbos, the Nigerians, or the Biafrans themselves, you know, begin to have reservations. You need to be careful because you are also dealing with human beings. You can see the kind of thing Nnamdi Kanu was saying. When Nnamdi Kanu wrote a letter from detention, cancelling sit at home, most of you here were shouting, it's not Nnamdi Kanu that did it. But at the end of the day, you know why I'm just, I keep on saying it, until we see Nnamdi Kanu out from that detention. Then he'll come out and tell us actually what happened. Nnamdi Kanu is not dead. And even if Nnamdi Kanu comes out tomorrow, that one will have a clearer picture, you know, of what has been transpired. Remember, there was a time, you know, before Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped from Kenya, the IPob, we are having different friction, you know, with the then autopilot or wherever. You understand? And at the end of the day, people did not buy into that. What I'm saying is that Simon Ekpa might have his own style of reasoning, philosophy, agitation. That is okay by him. But is he in line with what the umbrella body? Do you know how many groups that are under IPob? It is recently I watched the Chinese Taiwan match. Even the Chinese themselves were wearing Biafran jersey, and they played. At the end of the day, they won. Did you see autopilot on their this thing? I'm asking you now. You are looking at me.
I'm asking you to answer question.
No, it's not about my opinion, because the way you are putting it to me, you understand? Even
it's not that you beg the question.
I did not dodge the question. I've given you.
Why did you the question?
Yes, you can. Why?
I was asking you. The reason I asked you was because you accused Simon Ekpa of not personally consulting you.
See, boss, if you are in the public, what do you mean by Simon Ekpa did not personal? Do you know that is derogatory? You don't put that kind of question, consult me. Why?
You say you were not consulted.
No, what do you mean? Did I say anything like that? You are the one that is putting this kind of firebrand question.
Maybe you are forgetting.
No, I'm not forgetting. What I said is that one, you don't need to consult me. That's what I said. Simon Ekpa don't need to consult me. It is less for me to look at what he's doing. If it's in line with reality, if it's in line with my, I'm not saying anybody should not join his autopilot or should not join Simon Ekpa, but it's in line with my convictions about Biafra. Well, of course, why not? I will.
Okay, seeing that you are not comfortable with his own approach, what is your advice to him?
It's not a matter of advice. This is just, you are just trying to see what you can craft from me at the end of the day, you know. But it's not about my advice. My advice to him, I cannot say my advice to him. What I am suggesting, what is my own personal opinion and conviction. Till tomorrow, I'm not. You see, for how many years this is over? Since I used to write for autopilot on WhatsApp in those days. I used to write because at that time I was admiring the kind of level of information, you know, and that kind of bravery that I saw in Simon Ekpa then. But when he came up with autopilot, I wrote an article. I used to write. I wrote an article. I said, "What is autopilot?" Till today, nobody has answered that question. And that was how I quit that group till today. And nobody's going to change that for me. Nobody, not even nobody, because I am not clear. I need to understand what you mean by what is autopilot, and that has always been my understanding. But he has his own philosophy and reasoning and ways. Maybe there's things he's seeing that I'm not seeing. But from what I'm getting on board, you know, I do not see any plan. But Simon Ekpa is just a personality, you know, that has that zeal, you know, to fight for sovereignty, for restoration of Biafra. It's okay with his own idea and ideology. It's okay. I am an indigenous person of Biafra. You cannot take that away from me. I am an indigenous person, and it is in line with the requirement of self-determination according to United Nations Act. So I know already I am on the right direction, but I have not seen anything why we should be having diverse opinion over what Simon Ekpa or nobody who is talking about Simon Ekpa. I know that some of his things he did in the past are still there. How many Biafrans obeyed him? Those who are rooting for him is okay. I do not believe that one person should be fighting for one thing or the other. I believe anybody that feels that this is an idea. Okay, let me give you an instance. When Nelson Mandela started his against white domination in South Africa at that time, you know, he decided to toe the line of Muhammad Gandhi, which is a non-violent approach. But somewhere along the line, he discovered that you don't give me talk now. Leave the right hand for me. Somewhere along the line now, he discovered that these white men, as at that time, you know, we are using gun. Listen, you know, using gun. There was a man they called Steve Biko, Desmond Tutu.
Yeah, Desmond Tutu is a reverend father.
They were all in support of what. But somewhere, let me say, okay, how can Mandela said no? I do not need God. Then they said, okay, we will just sit down like this and allow the white men to be gunning majority of South Africans down. And that was how one of them formed the arms wing. Listen, arms without Mandela's endorsement or notice, formed an arms wing of the ANC. And that was how, when the white men came with their gun, they meet restrictions. You understand? That worked for them. So anybody that is Soweto, yeah, thank you. That was how it worked for them. For me, I'm not against his style of understanding, his own understanding of philosophy and reasoning about Biafra. That is okay. But what I'm saying is this, who is in charge now? IPoB is in charge 100%.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chinedu Michael.
This is a
I think this is a good place to let it go. I must say a big thank you for your time. Once more, this is Nigeria News Center. If you are new to this program, you are new to this channel, kindly like, share, subscribe, and please do not forget to hit the notification bell.